Hello, this is Witch Nikki, and today I'm going to do something very unusual. I am doing something for Ginger that I have promised and put on my list of things to do for a long time, and that is to fix her Sir Andy. Sir Andy is one of kind of her beginning friends from a long time ago. And we got him at a thrift shop and brought him home. And throughout the years, it's been a few years, his neck is getting very thin. So he flops a lot like this when he sits. And he's still just as lovable and everything. But we're going to give him a little added cushion right in through this area, through his neck. So I thought I would go through that. And some of the steps I might have to pause a little bit till I can get it done. But just in case, I have tweezers, a little file pick that I could help to open up the area, scissors to cut thread, stuffing. We were going to use recycled fluff from the dryer, the lint. But I'd been saving it for such a long time, and I don't know what happened to it. No, that's not it. I have so much stuff around here. That's not it either. Anyways, so I'm just going to use this because it's clean and fresh. But I'm thinking lint from the dryer has gone through cleaning from the wash machine, and everything that got washed, and then it went through the dryer and got separated and moved onto that little net that you find, a little screen in there that collects the lint. And you should clean out your lint thing after every drying use, because if not, it could collect in there and it could start a fire. So you want to take that out. But anyways, I just have a small bundle in some bag or some container somewhere, but I want to get started with him today. Now, if certain things make you a little woozy, we call it kind of, this isn't hurting him. I've put him under a relaxing moment here, a little, if you will, a little relaxing exercise with him. And I might also put some in his arms if I could reach in there and, like start to fill out these areas all the way from side to side if I can get it in there. Now, the trick is you don't want to tear open a whole big bunch area here. So what I might use to stuff it in more is the end of this knitting needle, because it's long and I could just push some along here like that through the hole and work it in. I'll show you what I mean when I get started there. I was going to use this, and I still might, it might be able to reach. See, I want to kind of push it in through the arm area, so this could work as well. If you don't have a knitting needle, any long thing like this, and it's got a round edge, so you want to kind of poke it through like that. And I think I'll have enough because this is all pushed down into, see, I should have enough. I might not even use it all. We don't want to make him too puffy that he's just hard. We just want him to be able to kind of sit up on his own without looking all crouching. His neck has been sore and tired, but now he's at relaxing mode. So, let me get started by looking for already a little part in here that will let me open up. See where he's already been sewed before. Now he's totally relaxing here. And we just want to get it into this area right in here. I do have a knife, but it looks kind of scary when I'm using that knife. That's my special protection knife. Whenever I used to fix Ginger's toys, I used to put her animals under a protection and comfort spell, or whatever you want to call it there. Okay. I could see that now. See that I've made a little hole right here, and it's going to be in the back, in his back area. So if you watch doctor shows and hospital shows, this will be a piece of cake, let me tell you, because this is very easy operation, you should see. But as Ginger was a little girl, when I started mending her little toys, because sometimes if you put them in a wash machine or something, they'll get kind of, you know, maybe a hole here or there, because sometimes the machines where they are put together they might miss a spot and the piece comes out. You know, I do hope I have enough here. I'm just going to stuff some in with my finger, but then, see what I'm doing here is stuffing it. It's already getting pretty good there. See? Now you went from kind of limp and saggy to a little bit of a muscles here. He's going to feel really good when we get done. And I'm going to poke some on the other side too, and then kind of meet in the middle where his back is. Okay. This is so soft. I had it for another project, and this one got more important because Ginger, the reason why she's not here with me right now is she's in the other room where we sleep, and this is the room where we get dressed, and I have my little office and work table right here and stuff like that, and the other room is where we sleep. But she's in there today, and she's up on her bed. Her and her mom have decided to go in there and go up on her bed and take down all of her animals. And that's quite a sight to see. And they're sorting them out and counting them and logging them. My goodness, what a job. Okay, see? See, now his arms are a little bit more full, and that's looking much better already. Now it's still kind of squishy right in through here, so I'm going to take a good bunch right here, stuff that in. And you kind of want to just moosh it from side to side. There we go. Starting to fill up pretty good. And if you put too much, you could just take a little bit back out again. But you want to try to make sure what it looks like before you stitch it back up again, because you don't want to have to stitch it up and say, oh, I think I got enough. So I'm just going to pinch this closed now, but see, I'm going to help him to sit up right here so that, see if I could squish it maybe just a little bit more. Let me see if there's, oh, there's some right around in this neck area, right, that goes up to his head. Yeah. Put some more into that area too. Oh, I'm almost out. We'll just make this do then. I think I could take it. I hope this will be enough. Or I might have to pause a minute and go try to find that other stuff and put that in there too. There we go. How's that? There. Look at that. I think that's pretty good because you still want them huggable and soft. You could use old socks, maybe even old t-shirts if you have an old t-shirt that you don't want anymore, and just you could stuff it all in there and work it around and stuff. This has probably got like stuff that when it's gone through the washer, it gets kind of bunchy. See how this is? This was like the other stuff, but then it got all kind of bunchy. Sort of like his mane. There is the best that I know about his mane, because it got kind of like that when we put him in through the dryer. Now, I could pull some of the string, but I want to take my needle and stitch him up. So, and you start back in here where it's loose a little bit, and what I'm going to do is go from the inside. If you're a child, you're going to need somebody, a grown-up, to help you. Now I've already knotted it and everything, so I'm just kind of pulling these threads and then tucking them in. Now I didn't have any beige color, so I'm going to do the best I can to sew this and kind of not show. That's a whole process in itself, you know, is stitching it back up and trying not to show it too much. But you know what, we all have scars, and this will just be kind of like Sarandy's scar. She named him on the way back from the thrift shop when we were looking, when we went to the thrift shop a long time ago. I think she was about 3 or 4, because she was talking, and we went to the thrift shop and she wanted to look at that lion up there on a little shelf, and I got it down, and she just hugged it and she wanted it. And I kind of always have a rule, if you pick up something, you should probably keep it. Like an animal, I love my stuffed animals, as you know. I have a collection of even people. Harry Potter and my witch and all of those, that little collection that I have. And you get attached to them. They become like friends. Kind of like your little mini family until you have family. And even if you do have family, you know, I just like them. They're cuddly and soft, and they hug really good. They don't care about how you smell or how you look or what you do. They don't care if you pick your nose or if you can read or if you drool over them. They don't care. They love it. They love to be loved because they've been made somewhere, and then they go in a big package, and then they go somewhere to some store and they sit there night after night with all the other animals that are there for the same reason. Which one is going to catch a little child's eye and go home and get a name and then be hugged, you know? So I kind of like that Ginger's gone up on her bed and she has so many. I know that there's way over 100. And her grandpa's kind of said, don't get any more. But then just today, he saw all of those all over the floor because she's got them all down. She's counting them and reorganizing them and all of that. And then he said, you don't have one that's a Shrek, because he loves Shrek. But Ginger doesn't have a Shrek, and she kind of doesn't care about Shrek that much. I've seen a couple of Shrek movies, and I'm like, yeah. It's okay. It's funny. But it really hasn't. The humor in it is kind of really, really grown up humor, I think. And it's nice. It's okay. But it's not my favorite either. But Ginger will look at it and like it. But anyways, he told her, maybe I'll get you a Shrek for Christmas. Well, that's another subject altogether. We don't know what's going to happen. Because he's always telling her, don't get any more, don't get any more, don't get any more. And one year, one of her cousin's people, her cousin, I won't say names, but one of her cousins, the moms and dads, came over here with a gigantic pink bear. We've actually slept on it because it's so big. And cuddled with it, you know, because it's like really big. Ginger's almost, it's almost as big as Ginger. I mean, as way as tall is, but it's very chubby and chunky and big. It would be very hard for me to fix that in here all by myself. Now, here's a tricky part. You don't want to leave the thread and tie a knot there. So what I do, I stick it back in there ever so far, because I've gotten to the end now, and I stick it in a little ways, and you can bring it out because it might, you know, you don't want to lose it inside there. And then push it in a little bit more and pull it out. And what you're doing is going right along the line of it, the line of where you just sewed. You're going, so like you've sewed this, and you just put it down in there and you sew back through it. And just push it right through. So, and then go all the way, and then stick it in as far as you can go. See now? There we go. That'll be good enough. Oops. Then you just cut it. right off. And it'll just stay in there. See? It's a little bit bunchy, but it's okay. Like I said, it's a scar. See? Now his head isn't drooping anymore, and even his arms are neatly done. See that? Yep. He's got a little bit more muscle left in there. And now he can wake up. Oh, wow, I feel much better now. So that's how you put more stuffing in a little stuffed animal that might need a little bit more. Thank you, and I am going to be reading in a little while, but I have some other things to do too. We just wanted to get Sir Randy done for today. Thank you, and I love you all.